everyone, and welcome to this week's Mystic Moonstone weekly angel card reading. Feels a bit strange, I've got no fur babies around me, they're all upstairs asleep. Okay, so the duration for this week is the 11th of November through to the 17th. Let's have a look and see what the cards have in store for us this week. The first card I have is the card of completion, Archangel Azrael. People often sort of panic when an Archangel Azrael card comes up because he is known as the angel of endings. But from my experience, the completion card has always been very, very positive. Okay, simply because it means that you've reached that point, you've reached that completion, and you've got this lovely gold shiny star on this card. Okay, Archangel Azrael often comes around as a counsellor and just kind of counsels you, helps you, guides you through situations, helps you to realise that sometimes some things have to end in order for something new to begin. So completion is always positive, and you know, it's not a card that I worry about. It just seems strange when I get at the beginning of the week, doesn't it? It would be much nicer to have got it at the end of the week. Okay, we have the Shadow Self card. So, you know, the completion could be if you've been feeling quite sort of a little bit negative, a little bit down, feeling like, you know, there's times where we all feel invisible, we all feel like we're not important, we're not valued, maybe we're lost in a crowd. So this card, when it comes out, is about stepping out of the shadows, about stepping into your true, authentic self. So maybe that's the completion. Maybe the completion is setting aside that negativity, you know, because positivity comes from within. No one else can make you feel positive. It doesn't matter how much somebody else says to you, you know, smile, it can, you know, it can only get better, one thing like that. If you don't feel that, it just makes you feel more wretched. So you have to get that positivity from within. And the only way to really do that, especially when you are feeling down, when there's not a lot to be happy about, is to kind of just think about the most basic of things that make you happy, the most basic of things that you can actually practice gratitude. And the more you do that, the more you kickstart that law of attraction, and it brings in bigger things. So, for instance, if you can't think of anything else but you've just managed to get yourself out of bed today, great, you know? There's people around this world who can't get out of bed. You know, if you can't think of anything else but you've enjoyed a hot cup of tea, there are people around this world again who would give anything to have a hot cup of tea. So, you know, so that's what I'm saying. So just, you know, this isn't me patronising you. I know it can sound that way sometimes, but it's, with gratitude, you have to really take it down to the basics, and then you can start to build on it. You know, maybe you've got a couple of biscuits to dunk in your tea. Okay, so you're building. And, you know, and it's kind of the more you build, the more that kind of law of attraction goes out there and brings in. What you put out, you get back. Okay, we have conflict resolutions come up, Archangel Rago. Again, I'm kind of getting the feeling with this reading, this is more about how people are feeling positively. I'm just going to put the light on, because it's gone really overcast all of a sudden. I hope that's a little bit better. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so let's have a look. Otherwise it just really casts some shadows and you won't be able to see the cards. We have the card of stillness. Yes, I was feeling with these first cards, and I'm still feeling it very much so, that this reading is about the self. And by the self, I mean how you're feeling emotionally more than what you're doing physically. You know, that state of mind, feeling maybe in a negative state of mind, where it's time to actually be a little bit more joyous, it's time to bring in that positivity. You know, and to accept that sometimes, you know, life can't be galloping forward. It can't be about being on the cusp of change all the time. It can't be about, I don't know, non-stop parties or feeling really like, yay, all the time. You know, sometimes you have to go into that stillness. And sometimes you have to realise that things have to play out, but divine timing is a factor. And, you know, you just have to appreciate that stillness and appreciate that you can go into that. Appreciate that you can sit somewhere warm with your mug of tea or your coffee. And, you know, you can just be yourself and be relaxed, okay? And that's the most important thing, you know. As I said, we take these really simple things for granted, where, you know, if you look around you, there are many that would give anything to be in your shoes. Okay, so don't worry about the stillness, accept it. It's the pause, okay? It's the pause before you move on, okay? And life is full of that. You know, if you think of life like sentences, there's lots of words in there. We start off with a capital, we start off with that boldness, and then as the sentences progress, there are pauses, there are full stops, you know, and then it starts again. And that is what life is like. So, you know, you're writing your story, your life story, every single day, okay? And sometimes there has to be a full stop, as in the completion. Sometimes there has to be a pause, as in the stillness. Okay, we have Archangel Haniel, the end of the week. And it's the card of beauty. I love this card. Archangel Haniel she's like, almost like a goddess angel, you know. She kind of connects you with your inner deity, with your connection to God, with your connection to your creator. Okay, you know, they say we are made in the creator's likeness, and that's not saying that you are replacing a deity or anything else. It's just you have that connection, and when you have that connection, it's like a child may have similarities to their parent. Okay, so it's that, you know, so it's that being in touch with that inner deity in you, knowing you are a child of the universe, knowing you are important. You don't have to have a massive life purpose in order to exist. The fact that you are here and the fact that you have life is the miracle. Okay, and only you can choose to live it. Only you can choose to see the beauty of life. Only you can use all those skills that you've got within you, and everyone is born with their own innate set of skills, and then on top of that they learn more skills. I like to think also that some skills come, do they call it DNA memory? But I kind of, to me, I feel our ancestors are within us, and I feel quite often, you know, we may have the skill to paint, or we may have the skill to draw, or it may be something more practical like cooking or sewing, and we can look back and there was a grandmother who was really good at it, but maybe didn't show us, or a great grandmother even, or a great grandfather, or a great 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 grandfather. But you know, it's having that sort of, it's being passed down, it's that skill that's within you, and maybe it's dormant, and maybe you need to go somewhere and have someone show you how to connect with it, but it's there and you can do it. And you know, and I think we're all born with those kind of skills, and that to me is like connecting in with our inner deity. You know, it's like connecting in with what is us, what we're good at, what makes us who we are. Not this kind of thing of I was born so there must be a purpose, I must know my life purpose. If I don't know my life purpose, there's no point for my existence. You know, I think that's kind of, you know, it's like when people are regressed, they always want to be someone famous. You might have just been Mrs. Joe Blogs, you know, you might have just been the guy who sat down in his garden, you know, but that every life is important, every life matters, and every life has purpose, because the purpose is breathing, and the purpose is getting on with life, and the purpose is joining with others and interaction and just feeling joy. I think life is about joy, and I think that's the thing, and only we can feel it, and only we can allow ourselves to feel it, because sometimes we shut the door to joy. We kind of close ourselves in. Okay. One last card. I'm hoping you're all going to be buzzing by weekend, because this is how the cards are looking to me. Ooh. Oh, do I want to give this card? Sexuality. So I know what a lot of you are going to be getting up to at the weekend, but we'll say no more on that. But again, you know, my mum always used to say that the greatest gift God gave us was sex. Okay, now you know why I'm like what I am. And she always used to say it's free. I know Mal would crack a joke there, but you know, but it is a free gift that is given to us all, and it helps us all to connect with others, and it just brings pleasure at a very, I was going to say a base level, but I actually feel it's more at a soul level. I feel it's much deeper. I feel it's a part of all of us, you know. And I think sometimes we kind of belittle it and make it dirty and things like that, but it is. I think it's the one thing my mum was right about, where it is a joy that God gave us. Okay. And I think sexuality and exploring your sexuality and who you are, and don't let anybody else tell you that you need to be something different, or you need to like something different, or who you are is not good enough, you know. And sexuality to me starts with the self. Don't want to go into that too much, but it starts with the self, and it's connecting with you and connecting with your inner deity and connecting with the joy all around you and connecting with that positive energy. Okay, so just be yourself, and that's just what I really feel this reading is about. Okay, I really feel this reading is about bringing yourself out the shadows, being your true authentic self, knowing that you are good enough, that you can draw in the people into your life that you want to draw into your life, who will enhance your life. They won't complete you, because only you can do that, but they will help to enhance your life. We'll do a very quick recap. We have Archangel Azrael, and we have the card of completion. So some chapter in your life is coming to a close. Maybe you've just come to the point where you've just thought enough is enough, and now I need to move forward and I need to come out of the shadows, hence the shadow card now. Then we go to Archangel Ragu. He's the angel who heals, okay? He heals relationships. So this may be, then for some of you out there may be a relationship where maybe, I don't want to go into it too much, but maybe kind of certain intimacies have been falling to the wayside. Maybe you haven't been connecting in the way that you should be connecting. And, you know, and you've had this stillness, you've had this kind of time, this kind of almost lapse, but that's going to start to heal, okay? And sometimes in order to get into that passion mode, you have to have that stillness, and you just have to have time when it's just the two of you, and you're just connecting, and you're not letting life kind of crowd in on you. Okay, then we go to, I've done stillness now, because he'll say to me I've skipped a card, but I kind of done both of them together, so we have stillness there. Then we have Archangel Haniel. As I said, she's about your inner goddess. Quite often when I'm doing readings for people, when Archangel Haniel does come up, sexuality does come into it as well. Because it is connecting with your inner deity. And as I said, you know, I personally feel that passion, sex, connects on a soul level. It connects us with something much bigger, you know, two souls coming together, you know, that orgasmic emotion that is released cannot be released or replicated by anything else, okay? And, you know, and I think that is important, and it's that, you know, it almost reminds me of the Big Bang Theory of the universe. You know, you've got that, so the fireworks. I don't want to say too much here. Mum's going to go at me for waffling as well. So, and then we have the sexuality card. And as I said, sexuality doesn't always have to be with someone else. It doesn't always have to be about connecting with someone. That card, quite often it can be about thinking about yourself, thinking about your own sexuality, thinking about what makes you feel complete, thinking about self-love, and just being happy in yourself. And once you do that, once you start to appreciate who you are, your true authentic self, then you put out a vibe, you put out an energy that actually will attract others to you. You will become that beacon, that flame. Okay, got to the end. Thank you for listening to me. I sort of feel like I'm blushing here. So love to you all. Carry on interacting on the page, carry on liking, carry on commenting, because I think I don't do the super fans. It's not something that I pick, okay? But from what I can gather with Facebook, it's the more you interact with a page, or you comment, or you share, just being active, the more likely you are to get that super fan badge, like diamond thing. And then once I see that, I put your name in my bag, okay? And I put your name in my bag every time I see that. Okay, so, you know, so the more you comment, the more you interact, the more it will happen, okay? And as I said, I'll do a different kind of reading every week for you, okay? Love to you all. Bye.